What is the next pandemic? So, guys, according to the CDC and WHO, there's a new list of ailments that they can release, that they can choose from. And I say they because now all of a sudden they're talking about what is the next outbreak going to be, and how the scientists, 200 of them, which I'm pretty sure are all on the books being bought out as we speak, they are all suggesting that this next round of pandemics could be a multi-level outbreak. So not just one, but a couple of things attacking us all at once. And so in the back of my head, a while ago, I thought, what if they did that? What if they released multiple outbreaks at once? Now, that would look like nothing short of a nightmare. If you had multiple highly contagious diseases ravaging the world, not just one country, the entire world. Now, of course, on this list that they created, the 200 scientists, influenza A, dengue fever, COVID-19 of a different version. They had MERS, smallpox, and monkeypox on there. Not to mention a few others. There were a couple other bacteria on there as well. I know one calling diphtheria and cholera, along with pneumonia and a couple of others. But still, multi-level, not just one thing, a few things. You know what that would look like? That would look like the end of the world, because you're talking about true depopulation going into effect. You have one thing going on, people are just worried about that one event, that one thing circulating around the planet. But now you have multi-outbreaks of different diseases. Forget it. And you're talking about something that's highly contagious with a high mortality rate. That, guys, right there, guys, could wipe out the world within months. Maybe weeks if it spreads fast enough. But definitely months. Not years, not decades, months. So, of course, and these scientists, they're always scared. And the chances of this happening, they never said it. Me personally, I think it's rare. But if they release it, that's an entirely different ballgame. That's not even fair. And I know the world's not fair. But if they did that, if they released different ones at the same time in different parts of the world, forget it. Forget it. It would look like a nightmare. And talk about social distancing, forget about that. We're talking about complete lockdowns. And that's one way you can get people to lock down. You throw out 3 to 5 different events all at once, ravaging the planet. People are going to shut down without even putting up a fight. If you released monkeypox and smallpox, and monkeypox with a contagious and highly or low survivable virus, and you put out the smallpox out there, then you had dengue fever, forget it. It would look like a shit show. Now, how would we prepare for that? Well, clearly, the only way to prepare for that is to make sure, first of all, that you're keeping your distance from everybody. If that was to happen, you don't let anybody in your home. You don't let anybody leave. Forget about the government locking you down. If you are walking the streets and you see people keeling over with your own 2 eyes and convulsing or looking like shit, that's when you jump into action. You don't jump into action because they told you that it was out there. You have to see it for yourself. And I go with that because they could do what they did with Mr. 19. Now, a lot of people did get sick from Mr. 19, but the amount of people that passed away is what they told us. And I worked out in the streets, and I think I saw one person who might have died from this. Might have. So unless I see it with my own 2 eyes, I'm not believing in the next round of whatever the fuck they release. I need to see it. The Egyptians, a long time ago, used to lie about their enemies coming to get the Egyptians and coming to attack. And they lied about that for a long time. I think from what I read, I think it was a few hundred years of lying about a group of people that were trying to break in to Egypt to attack. And they just lied about it the whole time. And I guess 2024, or whenever it was found out, that was never the case. Now, they were warring with these people a long time ago, but they kept running that lie, and people believed it. And with the next whatever it is, unless I see somebody all fucked up on the ground, drooling, pus out of their eyes, I'm not believing it. I'm not going to take the word of media and government anymore. I need to see it for myself. But in the case that we do see it for ourselves, we do notice people keeling over, that's when we have our prepper protocol go into place and we start locking shit down on our own. Forget about the government locking anything down. Fuck them. Do it for yourself, but make sure you have confirmation before you do it, before you go underground into your bunker or wherever you might end up. Make sure, of course, you have enough water and food to last you a few months, if not up to a year. Make sure that you have the proper PPE, personal protective equipment, in case you have to go out, in case you have to end up around people, which a lot of people are going to be scared to end up with people. But in case you lose your food source for whatever reason, your house set on fire and that part of the house had all the food in it and it went, and you had to go outside and be around people, you might have to, dress up to the nines and then go out and get what you need to get. But whatever the next thing is, guys, I promise you, with that, they're going to force, not suggest, force the next arm ticket onto people, especially if it's a multi-level outbreak. That's not going to be good. That is nothing short, guys, like I said earlier, of a nightmare. That's just bad news. Now, do I see that happening? Not really, but I wouldn't be surprised, and it's just something for you guys to think about. Don't sit there and be like that chocolate Negro said. Nope. Just sit there and say that it's a possibility that it can happen. That scientists are thinking this could happen. Because if it does happen and it's legit, all bets are off. Forget about going back to work. Forget about the economy being stable. Forget about anything. All bets are off. Anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.